hello once again, and welcome back to the Lack of Interesting Conversation with me, your host, Trey Mendenhall, your favorite podcast. If you follow us on social media, make sure you follow us on Facebook at the Lack of Interesting Conversation. You can also follow me on my TikTok and Instagram. Instagram's at Trey Mendenhall, TikTok's at Trey underscore Mendenhall. We're going to get those both similar. Um, you can also just you would know that we are coming to you a little late, as this week NCAA, well, not NCAA anymore, but EA College Football 27 was released today. Actually, Thursday um, is when we are recording this. Actually, and then I was able to get early access Monday. When I ordered the MVP bundle. That was just a regular MVP bundle. Remember, they did an MVP plus subscription this year to try and get, I guess, I don't know why, but that they offer that, and that automatically renews. So if you get it, make sure you automatically cancel uh, that if you had not already. If you got that, you actually got the game a week early this year. So July 2nd, since today's July the 9th. Last Thursday is when you got it. And there's been a whole bunch of controversy the last couple of days about the game. So, in order to honestly give a fair assessment of the game, just playing it Monday, Tuesday, and getting a podcast out Wednesday, I would not have been possible. I wouldn't have given it a fair and balanced review, in my opinion, anyway. So that's why we're releasing here on a Friday. I will make sure to continue to let you guys know if something like that happens, if that happens to pop up. So here we go. Obviously, college football 27 uh, here. The standard edition here features Oregon quarterback Dante Moore on the cover, along with Miami receiver the U receiver, front and center Malachi Tony, and Ole Miss running back Keon Lacey. Kewan Lacey. This is the third year of this game being back. As I remember back in 2020, EA had announced that this was coming back. Just obviously, it's under a different name now. It used to be called the NCAA series for the longest time there in the 2000s and early 2010s before it went away. This does not have the NCAA license. So, um, but the first year you had Travis Hunter, um, Bill um, Edwards, running back from Michigan, and then Quinn Ewers, the quarterback from Texas. Last year you had uh, Jeremiah Love and Ryan Williams. And also last year, I know they introduced real head coaches for the first time ever in a college football series. But I guess the one thing you definitely know right away when you click to start to load the game up here, you have to actually return a cameos, which is cool. If you remember back in the day when you had whether it be like NCAA '06, '07, the old Madden games from the early 2000s, NBA Live, all those EA Sports games used to be as you're loading into the game, you used to either have a player introduce themselves, a player. In college, you had like fan bases being rowdy, or you had cheerleaders introduce themselves in a team in which they are a cheerleader for. Introduce you say, "Hey, I'm Ray Lewis, and this is Madden 2005," since he was the Madden cover athlete that year, just stuff like that, which is pretty cool. You got Indiana head coach Kirk Cinetti doing one. Obviously, he's front and center on the um, deluxe edition of the game, and the MVP bundle actually comes with the deluxe edition of both college football and Madden. So that's how you get the 3 day early access, really, because you're getting both games. You're getting the deluxe edition of both games. So Then you also have one from each of the cover athletes: Dante Moore, Malachi Tony, and Keon Lacey. All do it, but instead of um, like it was like um, they introduced like Madden 2005, then you'd have the EA Sports guy going EA Sports Madden 2005 come up. But here, after this, there you just go basically after they're done, they go. It's like a jarring cut, in my opinion. Um, Straight to the cover there, the main like the startup like the basically the cover fills the your screen. It says press any buttons and basically the old start button. Then you go in there and the main menu, which got completely revamped this year. It's honestly pretty cool. It kind of looks like a play sheet the way like your play now, what's new, play now, dynasty, all that reads. And on the right side of the screen you got like the field of your favorite team. Mine, obviously, I'm repping them today. Tennessee, UT. Uh, they you have the field. Then you got like I'm trying to think about. I should have honestly looked that up. Like the little toys, plastic mini toys that they had in the '90s for kids. Um, they got like that. Got as fans like white dots with their bodies jumping up and down and stuff like that. Where you got a blimp flying over the stadium, which is super cool. I actually really like that. It's pretty awesome. And then you got your mascot there at the very bottom of the stadium, which is Smokey for Tennessee, which also brings me to another factor that mascot matchup is back. I have not played that yet because in order to be able to play that mode with any mascot that's in the game, you have to go and do play now with every team that doesn't have a mascot unlocked uh, to unlock the mascot, which is dumb in my opinion because the only way you could get all the 120 mascots was the MVP Plus subscription. Again, locking it behind a paywall, which is more to come here. We're going to be talking about that. This ridiculousness. Um, but I know I get like 10 mascots unlocked starting out. I know Big Al from Alabama is one. I don't know the rest of them because I guess that's not haven't really cared to look uh, do that. I can't even remember to tell you the last time that I did a play now, a random exhibition game. That's what that mode actually used to be called. And the during my era growing up as a kid as a video game, which is crazy. It makes me sound old. It's just crazy. Uh, but anyway, then we'll um, then there we'll actually go to the big two modes here. We'll start with Road to Glory. Started causing this controversy. Honestly, not much has changed here with Road to Glory. You still, other than well, you really got three new positions that they added because the last 2 years you used to have you just had quarterback, running back, receiver, um, linebacker, and cornerback. They added three new ones this year: tight end, edge, and free safety. That's nice that we actually got three new positions this year, but there's still obviously more to be able to be. Um, there's more that needs to be. You need to pretty much unlock every position and make it available in this mode, in my opinion. That's the way it used to be in the old games. You didn't have restrictions on what kind of player you wanted to build or what position you wanted to play. You can max them out. And the fact is, this is a single player mode, unlike 2K with NBA's My Career, which is basically strictly online mode now. You don't play that offline. I don't even think you can play it offline, to be honest. But um, here You can still choose. Well, I guess the position, in my opinion, is going to be if people want to be a kicker, let them be a kicker, kicker or punter. If they want to be an O lineman, let them be an O lineman, a D tackle, a strong safety, just like that. And you should be able to also return punts and kickoffs still. Uh, I'd still not added stuff that needs should be in the game, but it's still not. Um, you can still choose between 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, and 5-star in high school. The one cool thing, I guess, the high school spirit experience is still the same. You still got 5 games, and you can pick 4 um, moments um, to play in the high school. Um, then, although during your last one, if you fail that, you cannot retry it, no whatsoever. You can't, which is dumb in my opinion, because you can retry the rest of them. But for some reason, if you fail your last one, you're screwed. So, uh, which you only get 5 chances to retry, I believe. Um, then you got, but the one, again, like I was saying, the one cool thing about this being the high school thing, you can actually import team builder teams now. Uh, as you can import them all, I think it's 6 slots for high school. You obviously the team that you're playing on. So if you want to put the high school you went to in there and put yourself on that team, you can do that. Then you can also put the um, five opponents, 5 opponents from your high school days that your football team played, and you can put those as your opponents as well, which is pretty cool in my opinion. Uh, although I guess it's I guess I did do edge. That's kind of similar to something I did play in high school. I was a D lineman, uh, or when I played football anyway, a D lineman in school. Although I did play some O line, I did not particularly care for that. I much enjoyed playing defense more. Uh, but I I did start out as a 2-star um, D edge rusher. I know like YouTuber QJB did, and he seemed to do a lot better than me because I find it very difficult. I found the high school experience very difficult to be able to uh, get off the O lineman with spin moves or any kind of defensive rush, and be able to even get a sack is nearly impossible, which is insane to be honest. Then obviously you still create your top 10 list. Then certain schools will ask you to do can you do like a moment in one of these games that gives you an extra XP, an extra bonus incentive towards that school that will give you a scholarship to that school. And sometimes, especially since NIL is now in the game, um, you can the school will actually bump up your scholarship uh, offer if you continue to perform well. I found that out in my quarterback road to glory. When you're creating your player, you can either choose from like legends, like quarterback. You can be Pat White, if you remember him from West Virginia. Him and Pat White and Slayton in the late 2000s, tearing it up in West Virginia. Tim Tebow. I know Deion Sanders is his DNA as a cornerback is one. I think the Dominican Sue is one too. Um, Reggie White as an end, since I remember that since I did that, and UT alumni. Uh, I think Peyton may be 1-2 for quarterback, but I'm not 100% sure. You can either choose those DNA or do a custom one yourself. And this, in my opinion, is where EA is starting to have this mode start to become more like an NBA 2K's my career, because you basically do the same thing there, and um, then my quarterback now is an 80 overall, but that's as high as I can go until my legendary score bows up like over 2,000 points, which is basically caps you at 80 until you hit a certain status, which is I don't understand. I mean, this is a purely offline mode. You can't do it like 2K's my career where you're not going online to go to the city. There's nothing like that exists in college football 27. Um, although I know there's rumors about that, which may be why this is doing this. But also with this, I know I personally, because I pre-ordered it, I got college football points. But basically, if you don't want to, I guess, if you want to avoid the grind and stuff, you can basically buy your way to being able to make your quarterback your players and stop as you possibly can uh, in an offline mode, which makes sense because the only person you're competing against is the computer. You're not playing against your friends. You're not playing against someone halfway around the world, but you can still pretty much skip all that and then uh, and buy your way to being a whatever you a 99 overall, I guess, because they introduced cap breakers too. So you are certain things. Obviously, if you put your ratings and stuff are higher than others, and then once you hit your cap break, there yours like say like you have a 93 throw power, and once you hit that, I guess you can get a cap breaker for that, but you also have to expend the XP that you're earning to upgrade your player on that cap breaker on top of that. So it seems like a never ending battle, and it's a way to force people to, I guess, uh, spend more money to upgrade their player and make sure they're the best player they can be, which makes no sense to me because if this was online, I'd understand it because you want to be competitive, like in the park in NBA 2K against the fellow online players and stuff, which you got everybody being basically crazy, but you're not. This is strictly a career mode. There's you can carry this over to Madden, but Madden Superstar mode's not online. It just doesn't make any sense. I guess the uh whatever their NFL Street thing is, the yard I think is maybe I guess you can use it there, but still, I mean, there's been plenty of people and evidence showed that people on making YouTube videos of them doing let's plays of these games, of taking let's plays of like smaller tier schools and dynasty, and because they can have great stick skills, they can play the game well and know football. They can still run and go win national championships and put up great numbers because of their stick skills. It has literally nothing to do um, with, I guess, these microtransactions that they put in this game mode, which is why Bardo, excuse me, another YouTuber famous for his college football content, uh, started the hashtag CFP Play Don't Pay because not only did they do this in Road to Glory, I'll put a picture up. Hopefully, I can. If not, I'll just edit this out. But they also put it in Dynasty as well, um, which is just mind blowing to me, in my opinion, because you can buy coach points. I guess if you want to upgrade your coach faster than normal, I guess the normal speed, which I guess in 25 and 26 they used to have settings for your how fast your coach could earn XP. Uh, it can be like slow if you want really really grind through the mode. Normal, which is normally what I had it on, which I guess I really found out about this uh, all this microtransaction controversy, then um, normal, then fast, then faster, which 25 and 26 had, and they took those out. the fast and faster route of the Dynasty Coach XP of in 27, and basically the highest you can go now for XP is normal, and if you want to basically im- if you want your coaches level the level up quicker, you have to pay. They pretty much locked it behind a paywall. It's like either you will either grind and be okay with this, or um, you will give us money. Basically, greedy. It's really ridiculous. It's honestly starting to turn like NBA with 2K with NBA 2K because so much of that is honestly microtransactions. You have to pay to play pretty much. And I know the tagline this year for college football 27 is "Do it for you, you, do it for you." And they said this is, and they've said the developers and all this stuff. And I know a lot of this goes over the people who work on this game's head, but this is a massive problem, and I'm glad that people are actually speaking out about this, especially those who have been working with EA over the past 3 years with this since this game's come back. That because if they add this here, and supposedly, uh, according to the creators and stuff, um, although one did admit that they knew these this these microtransactions were in the game, but what they didn't know was they took out the XP, fast and fastest in Dynasty and stuff like that. That pretty much putting that behind a paywall in order to level up your coach faster. But I know they did release a statement today. EA did. Um, they Here's what they said about the Dynasty and Road to Glory in their statement. We've seen a lot of discussion about Dynasty recruiting, particularly around higher. That's not it. Um, Here it is, Dynasty progression. We've seen a lot of conversations and feedback around our coach progression and Dynasty difficulty. Coach progression to 27 is built as a long-term career. Our coach XP requirements remain the same as 26, and growth still comes from your coach's archetype, perks, and coaching staff over the course of your dynasty. The dynasty blueprint deepens the progression by putting more weight on decisions that build and sustain a program across multiple seasons. To give players more control over the progression pace, we are adding a new Coach XP speed setting in the upcoming title date. That said, we've heard your feedback. We know many players want more control on the pace of the coach's progression. We will be adding the flexibility back in our upcoming title update. 3 new Coach XP speed settings are casual, fastest coach progression, 1.5 XP, equivalent to the faster setting, and 26, best for the players who want to unlock abilities quickly and accelerate their coach growth. Simulation, a balanced coach progression, 1.25 XP. That's for players looking for a realistic pace while still progressing faster than the default expectation career. Authentic long-term coach progression, 1.0 XP, equivalent to CFP's 27. Default setting, best for the players who want the full dynasty blueprint experience where every coach point and coaching decision career is more weight. Over the course of the dynasty, if you're looking for a challenging rebuild with a smaller program, we recommend planning a career to experience the dynasty blueprint as it's designed. If you'd rather progress through your coach's abilities more quickly, casual and simulation provide faster progression while preserving the overall dynasty experience. Um, while they are, I guess, they said they're adding back the XP, but they're not adding it fully back to the way it was the last couple years, which I guess I'm glad they're adding it back, but I guess it's still not enough. They need to add this, go back completely where it was at before, and remove the microtransactions, because this is a slippery slope we're going down here when it comes to microtransactions, because eventually if you're not going to speak out about it now, eventually down the road, you're going to have basically a football version of NBA 2K where everything is pretty much pay to win, pretty much, and that is and like for people like me, I know this is as I'm getting older, like these video games and stuff is starting to be, I guess, not made for. I'm not the target audience anyway anymore. Uh, but and the younger kids are, but also you gotta. I don't know. I feel like it's just taking advantage, and the fact that you hid this until early access play is absolutely dirty. That's shameful, to be honest. And EA should be ashamed of themselves for what they did. And now the fact that they have gone private after being sold to a Saudi Arabia group over there has their chances of doing this stuff probably is higher now that they don't have to answer to shareholders and all that stuff anymore. Um, but I guess you never know. But I know not much has changed in Dynasty, to be honest. Besides that, other than that, gameplay. Still, you the three archetype. I think the archetype's still there. Recruiting, tactician, and I think a master. I think it's motivator, master motivator, are still there. So you can still choose out of the three archetypes what kind of coach you want to be. I chose personally. I chose um, recruiting recruiter anyway. Um, and I know I'm like halfway through my first year as in Dynasty as an offensive coordinator. I did that last year, and I ended up having the most fun doing that, working my way up to being a head coach somewhere. Um, and supposedly they did say that the coaching carousel is they fixed it this year. I've seen some tweets and stuff saying it is a lot better, but I personally have not experienced that yet. We'll find out at the end of the year of my season. I'm currently the OC at Liberty. I think we're 5-0 right now, but we'll see. Uh, and then, honestly, I would say the best part of college football 27 is the gameplay. It's smooth. Um, I know, like one of the big things, especially with the defense, I know that they were talking about how like the cornerbacks, your DBs now instead of this like you'll be able to adjust, make coach adjustments, defensive adjustments, and be able to keep those just adjustments from game to game, which is I don't know how you do it. I honestly don't because in Dynasty I have to go every game right now and make uh my defense adjustments every game, which you're supposed to be supposedly you weren't that was not supposed to happen. You were supposed to keep them over game after game after game because in the main menu you have coach adjustments in the settings, but in Dynasty you don't. There is nowhere to be found, which is very frustrating in my opinion. But maybe it's just because I'm an offense coordinator. I don't know, but from the few people I've talked to, that evidently that is not in the game yet, and which needs to be addressed as well. But um, but the DBs this year, they actually do stay with your receivers. That's one thing I noticed when I first was on offense, especially in Road to Glory, that it was definitely hard to hit open receivers this year, unlike last year, where I got used to maybe completing throwing you bombs all the time. Uh, but especially, but this year it's harder, especially when your skill position players are not as good as the opposing defense that you're facing. Um, that there's definitely a like a skill gap there for sure, 100% sure. Uh, but then you have um, then you have all kinds of adjustments as well. Um, that I guess you can either toggle stuff like I know like the RPO and option you can set to aggressive and stuff. That stuff's still in there, but also You can set like the linebackers and stuff to play more aggressively, where they're actually instead of say you're in a cover three or a cover two, um, and you're playing zone and you're in a zone and you're playing a zone, but you get the shallow crossing route going across the field, which I know last year this absolutely just tore up my defense when the CPU would run those plays, and I felt like I couldn't stop them unless I made the zone actually dropped it down. Um, Maybe I can't remember. I think I had it like five. Basically, it stayed right where were. But now with the if you set that like to aggressive or something, now the linebacker that you have in that middle zone will actually come down and play that crossing route. So you can actually be able to have a better chance at stopping that. I know after the first time I made these adjustments, I ended up having like four picks in that game, which is pretty awesome to be able to make these kind of adjustments um, and have the defense actually play well. I guess the one thing I guess I have noticed, I don't know if it's just because I'm at Liberty or and my D linemen aren't very good, but I do have trouble getting sacks, which is something I normally do not struggle with. I guess I'm usually pretty good at getting pressure on the quarterback, but maybe that's just because I'm at Liberty at a lower tier school, and I know with the dynasty blueprints and dynasty. Uh, as I go back to that, I know like with Liberty, because they're a smaller tier school, it also affects your budget and how much I guess NIL you have towards uh, your NIL budget, how much money you have towards that. Also, how much recruiting points that you have uh, too is effective. Because I think um, for this year, I think I only had 400 and something. I think last year, no matter what school you're at, you started at like 700, I think. But also, that may just depend on your coach's level as well. Uh, like I said, I haven't done that far deep into it yet. Uh, but, um, but overall, I am having fun. Also, I had also frustrating, especially since this is a new game. And to be honest, it is harder this year to cheese, I guess, to be honest. But I'm sure there's certain plays in there um, that some people have found a cheese and just like I know it is also on PC this year, which is great because you got the modders already working on stuff like they got a 2007 mode coming to CFP 27 where you have the rosters from the 2007 college football season, like when Tim Tebow was still at Florida, Aaron McFadden was at Arkansas, I believe. This is Jamarcus Russell, LSU, I think that year when they won it. I think Les Miles his national title. But like that, then you also have they've also had added the next year's the following year 08's freshman uh, um, class as recruits. So like Julio Jones, say you're in that you're playing you've downloaded that mod onto your PC and you're playing that 2007 season, which also has Cam Newton as Tim Tebow's backup at Florida. Uh, and like I think probably one of the most prized possessions in that recruiting class was Julio Jones, which ultimately went to Alabama. But now you have a chance to get Julio Jones at your school, at your favorite school, instead of going to Alabama, which is pretty cool. And I know I just said something before I started recording on X that PC mods have actually added this year's recruiting class, and I believe the 2027's recruiting class as well, which is just mind blowing. It's super cool to be honest, seeing what the modders have done with this game so far as this honestly plays this might gameplay wise, this might be the greatest college football game uh, ever, to be honest. But especially that plays as the greatest college football game since we've gotten this game back. But the microtransactions in Road to Glory and Dynasty have completely overshadowed anything good about this game this week. Um, EA's dug themselves a hole. Hopefully, um, but hopefully this community does not give up. It continues to work toward getting these microtransactions out of the game permanently. But if you want to get involved anyway, just use the hashtag CFP play, don't play, no apostrophe, and don't. Uh, this CFP, all capitalized, capital P, capital D, capital P, there, as that's the hashtag. Uh, but anyway, if you got the game, I'd love to hear what you think. I know I got a couple of buddies of mine. Uh, I don't think one's playing it today. I know he's actually got it on PC, so I look forward to hearing his thoughts about it because I've also heard the game looks tremendous on PC as well. Then I got another buddy of mine. He has it on the PS5, which I do as well. But I do look forward to actually hopping on the sticks after this to hopefully get to more in depth in this game. And I know like this week, before I know Tennessee unveiled their new uniforms with Adidas. Those are not actually in the game yet. Um, and there's I believe those they should be coming soon because I don't want to start a dynasty with Tennessee until those are in the game. Um, I guess on X I did see under the Vols the football they said more uniforms are to come, so I'm excited to hear about that and to see what that's all about. Uh, because I know the home and away are unveiled. The Summit Blue for the Lady Vols got unveiled yesterday, and the football dark mode was the only dark mode released today. I know Adidas Tennessee gear officially goes on sale tomorrow, which is pretty exciting stuff. But anyway, I guess I personally would recommend this game. You don't have to pay to upgrade your coaches. I guess it's not these microtransactions are not necessary for uh, you to progress through this mode. But the thing is if you don't speak up now, eventually, I believe, just like 2K, they eventually will be required to progress through the mode, which is something we do not want. Uh, but anyway, let me know if you got the game. Let me know what you think. If you didn't, and if you played the last two or just one of the last two, 25 or 26, let me know which one you prefer. Also, if you're a fan of the old school uh, college football games, like whether that be like Bill Walsh, I didn't play that, or College Football USA, I think that was the mid to late 90s. Then when it was NCAA, I remember my first ever college football game I ever played. I believe my mom, we got it from a family video. There's a throwback name. NCAA '04. Carson Palmer on the cover. I know '03 was actually how I got introduced to this game because I know I um like a friend of my cousin was playing the game and he made um the high school I went to's team as they went during that early 2000 run. They were really good state champions, back to back state champions actually. Uh, and that kind of made me uh, want to rent that, and I ended up making the high school and everything like that, and that honestly got me hooked. In the first game, college football game I ever owned was NCAA '06 race for the Heisman because I remember my teammates that year in 2 days talking about how much fun that game was. So went to the old Kmart and bought that game, uh, which is still one of my favorite games to this day, to be honest. But anyway, thank you for joining me. I know I kind of rambled on quite a bit, uh, but there was a lot to go over. Just remember that Jesus does love you. He cares about you, and that if you were the only one to ever accept Him into your life throughout all human history, He would still be willing to go to the cross for you, because that what he did. As I know one of my favorite songs right now is "Kind" by Corey Asbury. Uh, as the bridge talks about looking upon the cross in that dark day, I guess that's what kindness costs. The ultimate price that he laid down his life so we can be made free from our sins and have eternal life. To spend eternity in heaven with him, uh, which is an amazing, awesome gift. Uh, so, but anyway, thank you for joining me, and hopefully next week we'll actually get to come back on Wednesday. But hey, if you got a suggestion of Friday, you think Friday's a good day for the podcast, well, I'll think about moving it to Friday. But anyway, thank you once again for joining me, Trey Mendino, on your favorite podcast, The Lack of Interesting Conversation.